Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are designing a VIP room for Bangle. This is not the same Bangle that we have as a resident on Clover, my second island where we are trying to complete every Nook Miles card in 2026. That challenge is not going very well right now. This is my main island, Fawn. Bangle was a tourist. We did a VIP room for her. I have a backlog of these. I think I've talked about this. So I am posting some of them now. I know that the last couple of videos have been build related. There was a VIP room and then we redid Coco's vacation home, but that one was a little different because I didn't have the actual footage from building her vacation home because that's when my encoder was acting up in OBS. If you're interested in hearing more about that, I did talk about it a little bit. It will be linked down in the description because it is the most previous video that I have posted, and it'll also be in the end card if you're interested in like watching that. Anyway, I have news. I bought a Switch 2. I had quite a day. So I've had the Switch 2. I have been playing Pokopia. I am obsessed. That is neither here nor there. Got the Switch 2. Stressed myself out transferring this island from my Animal Crossing Switch to my Switch 2. Because despite following the directions, I was so anxious and paranoid it wasn't going to work. I didn't know if it would go with a system transfer. I've seen mixed things about it online. Some people said that it did transfer over when they did a system transfer. Some people said it didn't. Nintendo's website is even kind of contradictory when you are looking at like the support pages for transferring data with regards to New Horizons. So obviously I made sure that it was backed up to the server in case it did get lost, which it is. I've had the cloud backups enabled. I even turned them on for Clover, and I didn't really care as much, but I'm like, well, it's a challenge island. Might as well just have it backing up because like we don't want to lose our data. Anyway, I got the island transfer tool. I did the island transfer. It did work. And then I'm stupid because I forgot that this version of the game that I have is the physical cartridge. So imagine my confusion and shock when the transfer has been completed and there's no Animal Crossing icon on my home screen. That's because the cartridge was obviously in my Animal Crossing Edition Switch. So we popped that out, put it in the new one. We put it in the Switch 2. I then stressed out and got confused about the stupid virtual game cards, which I don't know still fully how they work. I've Googled it. I don't really understand. I've watched like the videos on it, you know, whenever they announced it, they explained it, whatever. I don't understand it. There's like a disconnect in my brain, but I like had to, I guess, link the data or something between my old console and my new one and eject it from my old console and insert it into my new one, even though the physical game card was in there. I think because the Happy Home Paradise DLC was on the virtual game card. So what I'm doing here is, I think I've talked about this in the past with regards to me like buying a Switch 2. I'm keeping my ACNH edition Switch, obviously. I'm never getting rid of that. I'm keeping that. I have a red-blue Switch, like, you know, a regular one that I had bought strictly to have a second island. I'm transferring that from my red-blue Switch to my Animal Crossing Edition Switch. So I'm keeping the ACNH one and my Switch 2, obviously. And I am going to sell at some point my red-blue Switch because I don't need 3 Nintendo Switches. I'm one person. I really genuinely do not need that. So I then didn't realize that the Switch 2 needed a micro SD express instead of like just the regular micro SD card. So that's fine. Amazon to the rescue. I got it like overnight shipping. It was great. But then I dealt with the world's biggest headache. I gave myself a headache trying to figure out why I was having problem after problem with OBS and my Switch 2. And I troubleshooted literally everything for 2 hours. Come to find out, so my Switch 2 is plugged into a gaming monitor that I have that is like, you know, 120 hertz HDR, whatever. I don't have the HDR turned on. The monitor is linked to my PC as well. However, the capture card that I use, I've been doing all my recording and stuff on my Mac because I use my Mac for like my day-to-day use, and I use my PC for like when I play The Sims and other PC games that I don't have on my Mac or whatever. So the Switch kept coming up with like the HDR pop-up on the system, and I am an idiot. So I have the large text turned on in the accessibility settings on the Switch, which, like, can we talk about that for a minute? That Nintendo actually included accessibility settings in their new console. The text-to-speech is not that great, gonna be honest with you guys. It doesn't read out everything. I don't use it, and that's like so stupid because the whole point of text-to-speech is to read everything out to you. But regardless, I have the text at the largest size for like the menus. I do wish that that translated over to the games because I'm struggling to see some of the text in Pokopia, but that's neither here nor there. So I didn't realize, in addition to the HDR option at the very top of the display menu, there is another one much further down that has to do with the output. So I turned that off after 2 hours of troubleshooting and Googling and thinking that it was my capture card because I use the Elgato HD 60S Plus. I've been using it since I've been doing this channel. It's been fine. It's been working fine. The forums on like Elgato and Reddit and whatever all have been saying that like people have been having problems. There's like a mega thread on the Elgato subreddit about the Switch 2 and issues with game capture, like specifically. So I was like, do I need a new capture card? No, I was just dumb. I didn't scroll farther down in the display settings menu, and because of that, I spent 2 hours stressing out. I did go out for pizza though right after I figured this out. It was really good pizza. It was sourdough pizza, and I'm not a sourdough person, but it was so good. Like, you couldn't even taste that it was on sourdough crust. So anyway, I finally got my games all downloaded, like from my ACNH one. I got the save data from everything else, like from Little Kitty Big City and Sticky Business and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, even though that is also a physical cartridge. I don't know why I bought the cartridge and didn't just like get the digital version from the eShop. Oh, I got the Switch 2 bundle too with the Mario Kart World game. I forgot about that completely. So when I bought it, I was mainly focused on the fact that I bought a Switch 2 and I was so excited. I knew like when I was buying it that I was getting the bundle, but between me buying it and receiving it, I forgot because like it shipped. Although it took only like 2 days to get here, but my brain has been so jumbled with work and with the trip that I was just on and with receiving and setting up this console. So we're in business. We are playing Animal Crossing with the Switch 2 edition now on this, which is fun. That's great. The megaphone really does suck. I'm seeing everybody's complaints about it are totally valid. I don't know why it's so bad because the one in the 3DS was not for some reason. Like the megaphone in New Leaf was really good, but I am playing Pokopia. I do want to do a couple videos on it. I don't know what. I recorded like my first few hours of gameplay. I didn't talk during it because I was so entranced by the gameplay. So I don't know if I'm just going to cut that down or do something with it. I also don't fully know what I'm doing in this game. I'm mainly running around and collecting stuff. I am following the storyline. At this point, I am about to have the Pokemon Center built, which is very exciting. I've been seeing some guides. I've been following some stuff from IGN, like articles and whatever, and I've been getting a lot of inspiration from the Pokopia subreddit, which is also a curse because everybody's so talented at building, much like in Animal Crossing, and I feel like I'm not, and I barely know what I'm doing in Pokopia at this point, but I think that everything's going to be fine. It'll all come together soon, but I think I'm going to go. We are done with the build. I really like how this room came out. I didn't have a plan for it going in. I kind of just like wing it, and I know I talk about this a lot with the VIP rooms. It kind of sucks that like they disappear the next day. I get the reasoning, but then I'm like, why am I spending so long doing this? But then they look really cute when I'm done. Granted, they're all kind of the same layout, much like my Paradise Planning vacation homes, but I'm having fun, and I think that's really all that matters. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!